Hello everyone and welcome to the channel, and let's get right into today's main event. Nano Dimension, a $63 million payday to the CEO, but are you getting any of it? Nano Dimension is based out of Israel with offices around the world. It wants to be an industry leader in the field of industrial 3D printing. It trades on the Nasdaq under the ticker NNDM. It had quite a run in 2020, but has since fallen from its glory days. The company took advantage of cheap capital and raised over $1.5 billion in a few rounds of equity raises. The company mentioned that it will make one or more acquisitions that will transform the company. However, since then, NNDM has bought about 4 smaller companies and invested in shares of another 3D printing company, Stratasys. The company currently sits on $1 billion of cash as of September 30th, 2022. More on that later. But the issue at hand and the purpose of this video is the upcoming shareholders meeting scheduled to be on December 13th, 2022. It has 3 main voting topics. The first is to increase the number of authorized shares by about 300 million to be 800 million or so. The second is to update the form of the company's indemnification agreement with directors and officers. The third issue is to allow the CEO to reprice the warrants that was granted to him for an exercise price of $2.46 instead of $6.16. Let's dig a little deeper. The issue of increasing the number of authorized shares may not be good for the shareholders. Why would the company need to increase its shares if it has already done so? Is it to make a potential bid less appealing? Is it to raise more funds for additional acquisitions? What about the current war chest that the company raised? As a shareholder, you might want to inquire further into this, as this can cause a massive dilution. The second voting matter has to do with the removal of the limit to the amount a director can be liable for. This is very dangerous. What if there's a huge mishap that a director has caused? This point says that the company will cover any damage amount up to its financial capability limit. So who is this protecting? The shareholders? It does not appear to be the case. It also raises the point, do they know something that we don't? Are they planning something? Not saying that they will, it's just a hypothetical situation right now. But to me, personally, the third point seems the most controversial one. Why should the exercise price of the warrants allowed to be changed? Does Mr. Stern not believe that the share price will increase again to $6? Why is the reprice only applicable to Mr. Stern's warrants, not to others? And what has Mr. Stern done for his shareholders lately to deserve this? The Form 6K states that it is in the interest of the company and its shareholders to have Mr. Stern risk his own capital and increase his investment in the company, aligning his interest with the rest of the shareholders. Huh? By investing $50,000, Mr. Stern will risk his own capital? This is a small amount compared to his salary of over $500,000 a year. This specific proposal states that for the $50,000 Mr. Stern will invest, he will get 10% of the fully diluted shares of the company. The vesting period is also very fast. Within 1 year, all the warrants will vest. This is insane. This means that within a year, Mr. Stern will own over 10% of the company's shares. What is his end goal? To take NNDM private? To benefit from a potential takeover bid even more? That remains to be seen. Meanwhile, the company just released its Q3 2022 results. It sits on $1 billion of cash. It means that over $500 million was already burnt from the initial war chest on smaller acquisitions, but mainly on operations. The press release claims that it may hit $40 million in annual revenues based on the run rate, but the shares of the company reacted slightly negatively to the report, as in saying, "Show us the money." As a shareholder, you are left on the outside hoping for a bounce in the share price or significant increase in revenue, organically or through acquisition, a major acquisition, but that has not come to fruition yet. Even Cathie Wood of ARK Funds has sold a significant portion of her NNDM holdings. ARK Funds currently hold 2.2 million shares of Nano Dimension. That is down significantly from over 15 million at one point. But now let's get back to the third voting point. Take a look at this. Based on the info and the updated financial statements, Mr. Stern stands to get a payday of over $63 million if the proposal is approved. If I was a shareholder, I would think twice before voting yes. This is just my opinion. It is not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence before investing. In closing, in my opinion, this proposal is very controversial. If you are a shareholder, what would you do? How would you vote? Let me know in the comments. By the way, NNDM has a cash balance per share of $3.96 compared to $2.38. This means that this is a potential arbitrage opportunity, as the company is trading below its cash value. Okay folks, that's all for this time. If you found this video useful, please ensure to hit the like and subscribe buttons to help the channel grow. Thank you so much and have a profitable day.